Today, I'm rating your best gaming setups. There's 6 setups in this video and they get progressively better as we go. You won't believe the final setup. So let's get started with the first one. All right, guys, this is Frederick's setup. He is 12 years old and he obviously is a student from Germany. His main games are Warzone and R6, and his previous setup, he didn't have one, so this is like his first setup. He wants to keep upgrading his setup from YouTube, and he wants to play more video games. And on top of that, he wants to maybe stream in the future. He built the setup in 2021. Not this setup, but like started collecting for his setup in 2021. He afforded a setup through his dad and saved up all the money that he got from that to build the rest. I did it all alone, but my dad bought me the PC, which is dope. And his future plans are that he wants a second monitor, better mouse, and a GutzyAiden mouse pad. Thank you. The desk is really nice. You have a great foundation. This has a lot of potential and you have a lot of room. I love that you've got, you know, all the essentials to build like your dream setup. So yeah, I would probably say it's maybe like a 3.5 or a 4. He's only 12 years old. So this video is sponsored by GutzyAiden.com, my own mousepad company. Some of the setups in this video use our mouse pads. So if you like what you see, use the link down in the description to get one for yourself. Now back to the video. Let's move on to Lars's setup. Now Lars is 13 years old. He's still going to school and can't work yet, obviously, so he doesn't have an occupation, but he's located in Germany. A lot of Germans in my chat. His main game is Apex, and his previous setup was a very bad PC with 1 monitor. What inspired him to build his current setup is to have a better setup so he can game with his friends. And he built a setup for gaming and watching YouTube. He built the setup in October since his birthday was then, and it took him about 3 to 4 months to save up and build the setup. He afforded his setup by his parents helping him with the money and also helping his family doing things around the house and his birthday money as well. He built the whole setup himself, and his future plans is to buy another monitor, wants to buy more lighting for his setup. So yeah, so off the bat, I mean, you know, 13 years old, this is a very good start. Then I also love how you started building the pegboard above the setup with personality, like different things that you like. Some pro players, I think those are. On top of that, I mean, you have a really good foundation. I love the wallpapers you chose. The desk is also really nice. The only thing I would say is maybe move the drawers forward a little bit, just because you have such a huge overhang. And then on top of that, I love that your PC is all black too. I think it matches this theme you're starting to go for, which is like this all black with maybe hints of red. You got a really solid foundation, man. I would probably rate this a solid 6 out of 10. I think you did a great job with the setup. Ye's son on, I think I said his name right. He is 14 years old. He's a student out of California. His main game is Fortnite, and his previous setup was just a PS4 and a 75 hertz monitor. What inspired him to build his current setup now is because of me and TechSource, so thank you. What he built his setup for was making YouTube videos and also playing some games. He started building the setup about 2 years ago, and it took him about 3 hours to build this setup. He afforded his setup by making money babysitting his siblings and also from a couple birthdays. He built his setup without any help from anyone else. And his future plans is maybe to get a new desk when he moves and maybe some different things above his setup. He also wants to get a GutzyAiden mouse pad because this is really small. Thank you so much. I really love the under bed setups when they're done right. Cable management aside, I love the personality that we're seeing in the setup. I mean, I know it's like very, very faint, but there's little things in here that showing his personality in some way. On top of that, I love that you know, put the PS5 here. I think the placement for this PS5 is beautiful. I definitely think it's very interesting. I think it's really cool. I also love how you mounted this mic arm. I didn't even notice it before, but I like how you mounted it to the underside of the bed. I think that's super unique. I think I would probably rate this like a solid 6.5 out of 10. Now this one is a little bit of an interesting one. This one is Magnus. He is 17 years old and he is a truck mechanic located in Denmark. His main game is Osu, and his previous setup was just 1 screen and a PS4. What inspired him to build his current setup is GutzyAiden and Senpai Gaming, so thank you, much love. He built a setup for Photoshop and Osu, and he started building his setup when he was 13. It also took him about 2 to 3 years to build this entire setup. He afforded his setup by his work as a truck mechanic, and he built the setup himself through watching YouTube and just, you know, coming up with some basic stuff to build it. His goal at the moment is to get a better mouse pad and a nice PC with better specs that he has now, and maybe a better table as well. Love the little shelf in the corner. I love how deep the desk is. I think your monitor layout is really solid as well. And on top of that, I love how you did the cable management through this like little wire mesh area, which is okay. Yeah, but I also love that you put like the little personality on top. I think it did a great job. Also with the room, it seems like it's very like this. So I think with the space you had, you did a great job. Maybe more lighting, but overall, I think you did a pretty decent job. I would say probably a 7. Yeah, I'll go 7.5. Really solid setup, man. Thank you so much for submitting. Alrighty, guys. This one is Brody's setup. Now he is 13 years old. His occupation is content creation, which is very interesting. I think he's a TikToker. He's located in the United States, and his main game is Valorant. His previous setup was crappy, no cable management, and overall pretty bad. And what inspired him to build his current setup now is that he always wanted to do content creation about tech, but you can't do that without a good-looking setup to represent you. So as I started changing everything more every video, and now I'm going for more personality. He built a setup for gaming and homework, and he built his setup in early July. It took him about 3 months to build this setup. He afforded his setup by birthday money and also content creation. He built the setup entirely by himself. I didn't ask for help because I wanted it to be revolved around my own personality, which is dope. His future plans is that he'd like to upgrade his desk to dual IKEA countertops, some more vines, a pegboard, and some more aesthetically looking things in the setup. So for 13 years old, holy man, this 13-year-old has a better setup than you. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. No, but overall, man, this is beautiful. I love the wall, the vines, the lighting. I love your mic placement. I also love how you did like this nature themed wallpaper when your like whole setup's white, which I think it's really cool. It adds like this like depth to the setup that I didn't think was there before. Also, I love how icy your PC is, bro. Look at these PC fans, bro. On top of that, man, I think you did a great job with the entire build. I love how sick the PC case looks and the fans as well. This is so sick, man. So inspiring. For 13 years old, dude, this is an incredible setup. You should be very proud of yourself. Yeah, I would rate this a solid probably 8.5 out of 10. I think you did a great job. So thank you so much for submitting. This is my boy Murdix. I hope I said this correct. Murdix, he is 22 years old, and his occupation is a music video director / content creator out of Canada. His main game is Call of Duty, and his previous setup is a MacBook only. What inspired to build him his current setup is Setup Wars and Me. So thank you so much. He built his setup for editing and content creation. He built this setup back in 2022, and it took him about 24 hours to set up everything you see here. He afforded the setup by filming and directing music videos in Canada, and he built the setup himself. He wanted a place to work and escape at the same time. His future plans for the setup is really nothing. He's happy for what he has. I mean, this is a very clean and minimal setup. Like off of the bat, shimmer cables. We have, I think that's the Raver Viper Ultimate, and a keyboard as well. On top of that, we've got the 2 AUX drawers, and I love that he's got like this little rug underneath. Dude, I also love the PC. He built this really nice. I love the ROG Strix in white. Looks really clean. And then I think that's also a bear brick as well. And then on top of that, he's running a nice little boom arm here. I think that's the Rode PSA 1. And he's also running the 2 PS5 controllers here for some extra games. But overall, man, this setup is beautiful, man. I love how you did the lighting in this setup. It just seemed a little dull. Overall, dude, I think your cable management's great as well. And man, this is beautiful, dude. You did a great job. I would rate this an 8.9 out of 10. I think it's really awesome. Thank you for supporting the mouse beds too. If you enjoyed that video, watch this one next. And don't forget to follow the Twitch down below. See you there.